The obvious one here, Bevan, is South Road. He's $21 into $8.50 with the three horses at the top of the market, all trained by Alan Sherrick. Ladies Man, very solid in the marketplace, has not really budged throughout the week, $2.50. And Wasaki's had its support throughout the week also, $5.50 to $4.50. Dionysus has gone out from $6 out to $10, and then you've got horses like Contemplation, who's been solid around that $13 price. And Subtle Point, another one backed at a bigger price here, Bevan, 31s to $14.
Well, he got the biggest cheer, BP, when he was announced to the crowd here. And we do apologise for talking through the national anthem. We're just 6 minutes away from start time here for this year's Cup. And Alan Sherrick, well, he held such a very strong hand here with Ladies Man, who he told us 12 months ago was set for this particular race, and he's got him here with 53 kilos on his back coming out of a Trentham Stakes where there was a problematic week leading into that race, and Ladies Man was still good enough to win. He's by Z and has handled wet track conditions. I suppose the only niggle in everyone's mind is, will he run the 3,200 metres? Well, you just have to say you trust the man who has done all the work on him, Alan Sherrick. 250 is your favourite, and it's very well placed here in this particular race. Wasaki, well, I just feel as though the chances that Wasaki has have probably diminished a fraction with this particular rain, but his was a fantastic trial in the Trentham Stakes. And then South Road, well, this is a horse Alan has told us over the last couple of months will stay all day, and he just loves those wet track conditions. So he's come right into the reckoning at $8.50. But the chances don't end then. Dionysus was fantastic in the north over the 2,400 metres on a strong early tempo. He was soft at the line, and that will be a fairy tale for Fran and Ronnie Dixon. They also have Contemplation, who look fantastic here this afternoon after the good second behind Z Falls at Chianti's on Karaka Million night. Record in 9, 2, 3 and 7. Subtle Point has been here on very similar track conditions, albeit at the 1,600 metres, but he's been very good since he's been stepped up to the staying trips this preparation, and he's a tough horse, no doubt about that. Lisa Vaughan, and as I thought, come up from the south, and she's been hit and miss, but when she gets her right on these staying races, she has been very, very good. And then, look, we just spoke to Josh, and Honey Parage trial in the Trentham Stakes was as good as any. He's clearly worried about the track conditions, but you just never know. 2.73 across the line at the Valley. Let's take this opportunity to head up stairs before the Cup and get your thoughts here. Tell you about what you saw in the parade ring before the great race.
Yeah, probably can't add too much to that, Bevan. Good summary of what's in front of us here. 150th running of this great race, and some hardy souls outside, plenty undercover, of course, and this is what they're after. And it's its own story, really, isn't it? The Wellington Cup, NZ CIS Wellington Cup. All the people with the game face on here, the jockeying for positions early in the run is as important as across the top, as we know. So we are getting close with 3 minutes out. I thought Dionysus looked good. All of Alan's horses, the three of them looked great. As I thought, it was as though she was home. She was so comfortable here in the parade and taking it all in, the three. Impressed with her, and My Shadow was very good. Hine Pada, didn't she look terrific? Didn't she look terrific?
Yes, she did.
She's going around the club's colours there. Leaderboard always does. Contemplation, lovely big upstanding horse. South Road, kicking stones. And down at the bottom there, good luck to the team with Mr. Fabulous Novak and Woody Wing. Just 2.5 minutes, Bevan, for this wonderful race to get underway.
And that would be a wonderful story if Mr. Fabulous could take this out for one stemper. I don't think any of us wouldn't have a cheer and a tear maybe if Mr. Fabulous could get on home here 2.5 minutes out from start time. And he love these track conditions. This is his sort of go in these loose track conditions, and he did look well as well here as we lead into the Cups. Well, I'm with Ladies Man now. Wasaki, well, I thought he was a massive chance coming into today if the track conditions staying good. Hey, he might just do it on these off-track conditions. Sometimes they're not a horse you can. 420, 170, there's enough about him, and South Road seems to be the late closer. As we'll head it back to you, BP, just the late mail here in the market race night.
Yeah, I'll touch on just a different market here, Bevan, in fact, and that is the early crow market. And of course, Subtle Point's been the well-favoured runner to be first past the post on the first lap at $3. We've also seen money around Mr. Fabulous, running number 14 at $3.50, and Pinion at $5 to be the leader first time round, with Contemplation at around $7. That's the early crow market at the bottom of this race on tab.co.nz. Overall, though, in the winning market, it's all about Ladies Man at $2.40. It's the best played horse when it comes to the Wellington Cup. As we mentioned beforehand, that support around the other two runners from the Alan Sharrock barn, and the two in Wasaki at $4.20, and the big go at the bigger price has been around the 12 in South Road.
Thanks for that, BP. Interesting, and one horse we need to quickly talk about before this race gets underway is In My Shadow now. Second to LJ in the New Zealand Cup. Now, as I thought, it was in that same race, and there's a fair price differential between those two, 18 and 26. He can run 2 miles. In My Shadow, I thought it was a very quiet trial in behind Ladies Man in the Trentham Stakes, and I don't think he's completely out of this. But if it's not Ladies Man, you can pick your spot. 240, 37,000 in the first full pull, so you've got 30 seconds to get involved there. The maiden that goes forward, that is Willie Wink for Peter Locke, who's told us some good interesting stories about his plan around this horse coming into a Tara's race. Your favourite about to go forward in the O'Leary colours, that is Ladies Man, the gelding by Zedden. There's a lot of tickets, I think, out there in the futures at around about $6. But we're almost on start time. The 3,200 metres are in front of them. The Wellington Cup has been back at that distance for a good period of time since it was shortened up quite some period of time ago. But great to have the 2 miles here at Trentham. Leaderboard about to go forward. 2:10 now. Late plunge. Ladies Man. Let's get this underway with Tony Lee.
So just awaiting As I Thought to come in, as Ladies Man tightens up even more here, folks, to $2.10. Very short favourite. We're ready. NZCIS Wellington Cup 150th running. Stand by for the start. We're racing in the Cup now. They break out pretty much together here. Now, In My Shadow's begun well here, but going forward, Contemplation, as too is Pinion. Subtle Point over on the inside, Mr. Fabulous there. Tom's with the rider high in the irons. In behind those runners then is going to be Dionysus, going to tuck away for cover the top weight. The maiden galloper, Willie Winket's outside. Behind those then is going to be Waisaki. Ladies Man on the inside of it, stablemates together. Tom's tucks in now, Pinion the inside, then South Road inside of Hine Pada as they hack along, and Novak is the last of them. So the big upstanding Contemplation on the outside of Subtle Point, all away from the fence with no pace at all, and Mr. Fabulous just resisting the rider there. They're followed through then by Pinion. In My Shadow the inside of Leaderboard, and here he comes around the outside, Willie Wink now. In the middle of them, Dionysus. Ladies Man's back on the inside of Waisaki. Boston's got him pretty relaxed. Tom's behind that. Then we have the next one behind those then is going to be As a Thought, and back behind that is going to be South Road, Hine Pada and Novak. So who's going to be the early crow? They come down to us a circuit to make, and it'll go the way of Contemplation. Here's the leader now. So Contemplation, Subtle Point second, Mr. Fabulous third. Then we have Pinion, In My Shadow the inside, Leaderboard the outside of it, Willie Wink who is around Dionysus, Ladies Man inside of Wasaki, and Tom's in company with those. They all got the float here together, and so did South Road. Bridget's parked up in behind those. As I thought, the Southern Mare's back over on the inside, then Hine Pada, and Novak is the last as the 150th running of the NZCIS Wellington Cup head up into the back of the track. 1,600 metres to go. There's 17 or 18 lengths over them, and Craig Zaki and Contemplation call the shots over the crossing there. Subtle Point is second, and Mr. Fabulous just dropping the head now, followed by Pinion around In My Shadow. Leaderboard is the next. He's taking inside runs here on Ladies Man. Dionysus the middle, and Willie Wink's a little wider. Tom's behind him. Waisaki the middle. As a Thought picking up ground on the fence. South Road behind them. Novak and Hine Pada is looking to get a little closer as they jam up in the Cup here. They work on down towards the 1,000 metres, and here Contemplation with Willie Wink. He's going up for a look the outside, the maiden galloper. Then Mr. Fabulous, Subtle Point. They put the acid on a fair way from home. Pinion is the next. Leaderboard comes forward. Ladies man the inside. Then we have In My Shadow. Wasaki starting to go forward. Tom's his outside. Dionysus behind those. As a thought, South Road commences his run as they gallop over to the 700 in the Cup. Then we've got Hinepara and Novak's the last one. Contemplation, Willie Winker now. Leaderboard comes around them. Just in behind them, Pinion. They're followed by Waisaki starting to put himself into the race. Ladies first. He's got to come on the inside of these as they swing and go for the money line now. And here we've got Leaderboard out wide. Willie Wink, Contemplation. Ladies man the inside. Waisaki out wider. Then In My Shadow running on now, Dionysus. Here Leaderboard has the lead from Contemplation, who's coming back at it on the inside. Ladies man starting to close off. In My Shadow, Dionysus is starting to push through as well. But it's Leaderboard. Leaderboard for Fortuna. And Leaderboard will be Contemplation. Dionysus, ladies man. South Road made up some. Willie Wink wasn't far away. Wider out then we had behind those Pinion. Then Hinepara, Waisaki, As a Thought, Tom's In My Shadow, Mr. Fabulous, and the last of them, Subtle Point. He's been to most of the dancers' Leaderboard, but Mark Walker and Joe Doyle combine to take out the Cup here. He got him to the outside where he wanted. Contemplation set them up, taken on from about the 1,000 metres. Dionysus under the top weight, trying to lift Ladies Man inside of those, and stablemate South Road inside of that. But it'll be number 8, Fortuna Leaderboard Syndicate Leaderboard for the table-topping Mark Walker. No surprise, really, that Mark's just continued to persist with this horse, and today gets his day. And he did it really, really well. He got to the outside running, the coveted outside running, and he's finished too strongly for them.
He trotted up actually at the top of the straight. You won't see a better looking horse coming into the birdcage, and look, he's been to a few of these big dances, and today he's got the job done. Well done to Mark Walker. Of course, this is a Fortuna horse with John Galvin. We saw him here earlier in the day, and Sam Burgesson, who was here this afternoon taking care of the Tiakau team. It was a strangely run cup, wasn't it, because they were well off the rail. There wasn't a lot of speed in the race early, and it was really a race to the outside fence. And Joe Doyle, who's been such a great acquisition into our riding ranks, rode the perfect race, and Leaderboard gets the job done here this afternoon. And congratulations to the Fortuna Leaderboard Syndicate. This is a 8-year-old going by Street Cry. He's a beautiful looker, and he gets this year's Wellington Cup. We'll grab Sam Burgesson to talk about this, and we did have an interview earlier on in the day, Sam, and you said, well, there's one horse that didn't mind the rain that was falling, and this was the one.
Yeah, exactly. Mark had got him really fit. We'd had plenty of work into him, and we knew the rain was always going to help him. So, yeah, just stoked for everyone at home, and stoked for John as well. He's a massive supporter of our stable.
The man aboard, he rode the horse to perfection, really. There was a race to the outside fence, and he got the right bit of the running. Yeah,
got him into a lovely spot, a lovely rhythm, and he galloped him on Wednesday. And after Matamat, he said, geez, this horse is as fit as a fiddle. So, look, we were quietly confident, but we never knew with him he can throw in a shocker at times.
Well, he can throw in a shocker, but you got the right man doing the training in combination with you. Mark's had a wonderful, wonderful season, and he clearly had this horse cherry right for today.
Yeah, exactly. Look, he presented well, Trevor down well, and Mark had got him really fit. We'd thrown the book at him in terms of work and different tricks and everything. But yeah, like I said, just stoked for everyone at home. He's sort of been through all the barns. He had a bit of trouble with his feet and different little things, and to get him right for today and get a result like that, yeah, it's huge.
Okay, John Galvin's had a close association with Tiakau for a long time, and he puts a lot of horses through the stable that David buys, and he puts together big syndicates, and we've seen one big syndicate with He's a Doozy, another here today.
Yeah, like I said earlier, he's been a massive supporter of our stable for a long time. You know, he's had a lot of good horses with us, and it's great to get another result for him in an iconic race like this.
Okay, congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Sam Burgesson, of course, a key part of what is Team Tiakau, and John Galvin is that as well, and throw Joe Doyle in the mix here with the victory of Leaderboard in this year's New Zealand Campus of Innovation in Sport Wellington Cup. We'll grab Joe very, very shortly to talk about this, because you heard there from Sam that he worked this horse early on in the week, and I think he knew that he was on a leading chance. As Joe addresses the massive syndicate, and great to see another great large syndicate winning here this afternoon. Sam just told me you worked this horse midweek and you knew that you had a leading chance in the race.
Yeah, look, he felt great during the week. You know, we knew we needed the rain to come, but thankfully it did. And look, it was pretty straightforward, the race. I mean, he travelled beautifully. We didn't go a mad gallop, but we went even. And he just kept fighting up to the line. You know, they're the horses you want to ride. And very grateful to be riding for such good people.
You haven't been here for long, Joe, but you've made a pretty serious sort of impression.
Look, you know, every horse I ride, I try and give a good ride, and you know, when it works out on days like today, it's very special. So I'm very grateful to the people in New Zealand.
Yeah, and when you get in these sort of colours, you know you're on a nice chance in a big race.
That's it, you know. Anytime they have a runner, they always have a chance. You know the horse is going to be fit and in the best condition it can be. So, you know, I'm very fortunate and I'm very grateful.
Well, congratulations from us all.
Thank you.
Joe Doyle, he is the winning rider of this year's Wellington Cup, and Te Akau strike again under the Fortuna banner. 8-year-old by Street Cry, been to some pretty big dances, BP leaderboard, and today is his day.
Yeah, wow, what a blowout, and playing around that $50 mark, as Sam mentioned there. Of course, he had that exhibition gallop during the week with Self-Obsession. And Amalfi, what's the horse again? Amalfi Prince. Yeah. So leaderboard winning the Wellington Cup at $50.30 and $9.50. Contemplation $3.70 and Dionysus at $3. The 8-11 Quinellas paid $340.10. Trifecta $4,379.60 in the first four of 8, 11, 1 and 6, $17,997.40. Yeah, look, a number of unluckies because it was a case of trying to get to that outside path. There were horses trying to cut corners, horses back in the field. We had to cut back underneath runners. Ladies' Man was tracking a path underneath horses. He's been able to finish into 4th position. Top runs, I thought, from both the James and Wellwood horses in Contemplation and also the one in Dionysus to finish into the money. Even Willie Wink was there fighting on just in behind horses to finish into around about that 6th position, but it was all about leaderboard winning at 50-1 for John Galvin Fortuna and the Te Akau stables of Mark Walker.